Hi, my name is Jillian Freeland, and I am a birth boot camp doula and childbirth educator, and I'm also one of their trainers. I wanted to share with you what is inside my doula bag. I think each of us as doulas kind of customize what we have. We build it and then we slim it down and we change it up, but there are some consistent things that many of us will carry, but I'm going to share with you kind of what I carry. The first thing that I have to have with me is my rebozo or a scarf, or I encourage my clients to get one if they're interested in having one. They actually turn out really, really pretty in pictures, and then my clients want it because it was so sentimental and so special and part of their birth. So I encourage them to get one if they want one, and it's really great to practice with even before birth has started in pregnancy. It's wonderful as a comfort measure. So that's one of the first things that I have in my doula bag. And I'm going to share actually some really important things that I think some of us forget to put in our doula bag at the very end. So you want to hang out with me until then. The next thing, and this is not in any particular order. This is literally just, I pulled it all out and I'm showing you. So there's nothing special added to this. There is nothing taken away. This is literally what I have in my bag. This, I will say, is not exactly what I have in my bag. This is actually my rice sock for my house, for my family, my kids, but I carry a rice sock. In fact, I also carry a tennis ball sock, and you can see this one has monkeys and bananas on it, and there was probably a matching rice sock at one point. So I carry a rice sock with me for mom. It's really wonderful if you can warm it up, and she can use it. And then I also carry a tennis ball sock, which is handy for counter pressure. A variation to this that I have is called the Miracle Ball, and I will show you those. They are a little bit softer than a tennis ball, and I like these. They're squishy. They're just really, really nice, and I use these all the time at my own house. So that's what I got there. Another tool that I have in my bag is an eye mask. Seems very odd to have an eye mask. This one's super cute too, y'all. It has like stars and moons on it. Isn't that adorable? But I find that like moms, when they change their setting, like if they go from home to hospital, sometimes it's hard to reset and find that labor zone that they were so beautifully in. And one way to help them find that is to put on an eye mask for 3 to 5 contractions and help them to shut out the world around them. It's also really great for the mom who just got an epidural and she's trying to find that place of peace. But she's excited because she has had all this happen and she wants to chat all about it. But you know, rest is what she's really searching for. So this can be super handy then. Another fun tool that I use all the time, and this is not the exact one, but it's a shower cap, literally. Shower cap. Because women will get into the tub or into the shower, especially places that don't have tubs. The shower is such a great tool. But if they get all wet and they come out and then they start shivering, and that doesn't work with what their body is needing to do, and their body is needing to relax. So a shower cap is super handy. And now this is one of those things that you go to the Dollar Tree and you grab 5, you grab 10, and you hold on to it, and then you dispose of it when you're done. We're not gonna try to share this between people, okay? Cool. Okay, this is one of my favorite tools, and I usually pull it out to just get everybody laughing and lighthearted in the labor room. They are my corn cobs. These are actually a reflexology tool, and a lot of women, a lot of doulas will carry hair combs instead, and that's a great option. I just thought these corn cobs were so fun, and that's not even their real name. I have no idea what their real name is. I wish I knew. I wish I could tell you, but I just call them corn cobs because don't they look like little corn cobs? But if mom's laboring, she can squeeze these and it will help distract from the pain that's actually happening in her body. And then there's these other little fun little things. I don't even know what these are for. There's like this little ring, and I slide it on my hand. I just have fun with this. The dads are like, what are these things? And they just have a lot of fun with these tools. And inside of this little bag, when I ordered these tools, they came with a little chart. Tells you a little bit about reflexology. I am not trained in reflexology. Maybe one day that'll be on my bucket list. But for now, these tools just help moms and really lighten up the mood in the room. All right. Another thing that I keep with me is just protein bars. Those are just for me. But I keep honey for mom. I have these little raw honey packs. You can just tear it open and gulp it down. And then I have some honey little teddy bears with me. But the key thing that you want to carry is the spoon. Because there's nothing worse than like having to search down for a spoon in an empty cabinet or whatever at a hospital. So I keep these handy, and whoop, mom can have them. Why would she want honey? Well, first of all, it goes with the liquid policies that a lot of hospitals still have, that they have a clear liquid policy. But it also has the extra energy boost that mom could use during labor when she's tired or her labor has stalled out. So that's some fun stuff. Okay, another really handy thing to have, Christmas lights. There's nothing better than having a soft, quiet atmosphere, and nothing worse than bright lights. And so when I have to help mom find her comfort zone and her place of peace again, I will turn on the twinkle lights, turn off the big bright lights, and help her reset. Okay, more stuff to come. I have a fan. Boop. Simple, self-explanatory. Helps mom to feel cooler when she's hot and sweaty, and I can stop it when she is cold. So one of the hardest things is when you turn on like a box fan. That's good while she's hot, but it's bad when she's cold. So a hand fan really helps to be intermittent and used as needed. All right. Okay. I carry gloves with me. Yep, gloves. Because sometimes you're helping women in the middle of very sticky situations. Not using them to do anything medical. I'm not doing vaginal exams. But if I'm helping her wipe her legs and she's got bloody show all down her legs, or her water just broke, you know what? I'm protecting myself and I'm honoring her by putting on some gloves. So I carry those with me. I'll often use the ones at the hospital and just ask the nurses if they mind, and they're wonderful about that. But I don't always serve at hospitals. Sometimes I'm at a house in a home birth, or a birth center birth, or just traveling to someone's house before we head to a hospital. So that's handy to have gloves on hand. Okay, what else? I have essential oils, not because I use them a lot. Typically, a mom will have essential oils, and I'll have her use the ones that she likes if she has them. These are actually mostly for me. I like essential oils, so I carry them with me. But I do have peppermint oil in here, which I pull out on births quite frequently. Now, a lot of women are like, whoa, 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 we shouldn't do that. You know, it can hurt her breastfeeding journey. I only pull this out as needed, and usually for two things. One, to help her go to the bathroom. Little trick, put a few drops of peppermint oil into the toilet, or just let her sniff it. It'll help her. The other thing is for nausea, because sometimes when the nausea comes on fast and furious, you need to be able to help mom feel and find comfort. And so having some peppermint oil can really help. One of the things that I do with it as well, because it can be overpowering, is I will take a Ziploc bag and one of these little cotton cloths and put it on there, and I will open the bag, let her sniff it as needed, and then close it, and it is gone. because one smell 1 minute could be wonderful, could be equally horrific in the next minute. So you want to be able to give it and take it away as needed from mom. Another great one to have is a lemon. If she doesn't like the smell of peppermint, lemon can be really, really good for nausea. But yeah, most of those are for me. Last little thing, well, let's keep going. One thing that I wish someone had helped me. When my baby was just born, I had flat nipples, but I didn't know it. And so I'm trying to nurse my baby, and the nurse that I had was not very helpful. She's like telling me all these things, and I'm like, I've never done this before. So one thing that I carry is called a latch assist. This can help a lot of women who have never nursed before get their nipples prepared to nurse. This doulas is one of the things that you would want to replace. This is, you give it to one mom and it's hers. We don't try to sanitize it and pass it along to other people. That could cause infection. So this is a one and done sort of thing, but it is really, really super handy. See? And you just squeeze and it helps to pull. So handy tool to have. This one's been in my bag for a while. I haven't needed it for anybody, but yeah, I wish somebody had that with me. That would have saved my life. Okay, I'm gonna list off a bunch of little things in just a second, but one of the things I want to make note about is you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. I have weak ankles, so I keep an ankle brace in my doula bag just in case. I would hate to slip and sprain my ankle and then not be able to serve her in the way that I would like to, or have to call a backup when all I really need is just something to help. So I keep this on me, and that might be something you want to consider. What are your strengths and weaknesses? What do you need to have that would help you in case something was to happen to your body? Maybe you deal with headaches a lot, and as I do. So I keep a little first aid kit with me. And this is not necessarily for the parents. This is for me, because as a doula, we have to take care of ourselves as well. And in here, I have Tylenol, Excedrin, Aleve. I have eye drops. I have allergy medicine. I have Sudafed. I have a toothbrush, a thermometer, toothpaste. I have a bunch of little things in here that help me. I have Tums. I have Gas-X, I've got it all. And I do let my clients know that they're welcome to use this, that I will not provide any of it for them, but it's there if dad gets a headache or whatever. So all of this is there for them if they would like to use it. But I also encourage them to pack the things that they know that their body might need. Okay, so I'm gonna go through my list to make sure I didn't miss anything that I wanna definitely tell you about. Okay. Here's one thing, big thing. I keep unscented lotion and unscented body oil in my doula bag so that I can use it if mom needs massage, if her back is sticky and I need to use something to make it smoother to do the massage. I have a scalp scratcher. Woohoo! I get goosebumps just thinking about it. I think I showed you the hand fan. Flip-flops. Or water-resistant shoes, whatever you'd have. I usually wear sneakers to births. There are wonderful shoes that are out there, but that's what works for me. Great support, they're comfortable. But I bring flip-flops because if mom is getting into a tub or into a shower and the spray is hitting my feet, there's nothing worse than having soggy shoes for the rest of a birth. So I bring flip-flops, put them on real quick, transition back into my shoes later as needed. I also bring wool socks, and those sometimes are for me because my feet are really cold, or sometimes they're for mom. I can't tell you how many pairs of wool socks I have given away. The ladies love it. I also keep lollipops, Dum-Dums, peppermints in my bag. Some of that is for the pressure point that is on the roof of your mouth, but it's also just to suck on, because sometimes you need a peppermint. I have in my bag an affirmation ringlet that I carry that has really, really sweet affirmations on it. But I also have this comfort measure tool, and it is wonderful. And I can, if I'm running out to the bathroom, or I need to step aside for a lunch break, or any sort of reason, I'll pull this out and say to whoever else is supporting mom, here are some really great comfort measures that you can use. One of the things that I like to do is I pull this out as well for my couples and say, where am I? I'm looking for the one thing here. When a doctor or nurse comes in and you're wondering about what you can do, and they're suggesting something, and I show them, hey, you can hold these cards. These are yours to use during the birth, and ask yourself the questions. What are the benefits? What are the risks? Are there alternatives to what's being suggested? What is your intuition saying? And then what if you do nothing? So these cards are really, really handy, and Birth Boot Camp has them. They're super, super wonderful. So I carry that, and I leave that for my couples. One other thing that I sometimes have, I try to have hand warmers. I know you think that's just for winter, but they can be really, really good when mom is cold and you need something to help make her warm quickly. Pop open a hand warmer and have her hold them. Golden. Okay, so just some little things that I keep with me. I think I've mentioned some of it, but bendy straws, hair ties, gum, mouthwash, and I'll keep a new mouthwash in my bag, not just for me, but for the couples. If mom throws up, it might feel really nice to be able to wash out your mouth. Earplugs, those can be really great too. Chapstick, I keep lots of new chapsticks in my bag for mom. I think I showed you some of my stuff, but every doula should definitely have a bag that she keeps things for her menstruation in. So I have tampons and pads and menstrual cups and personal wipes all in my bag, just in case Mother Nature decides to show up while I'm at a birth. I keep snacks and protein bars, and a water bottle that is just for my bag, because there's nothing worse than being at a hospital and having to run out and refill a cup. So I keep a really big jug in my bag. I also keep an extra phone charger in my bag. It is just for my doula bag. Unfortunately, I've left those at lots of births, but thankfully, 5 and below the Dollar Tree, they're pretty cheap. You can get them and keep them in your bag, which is super helpful. The first aid kit, nail files. You'd be surprised how many women want a nail file during childbirth. Okay, I have 2 very important things I want to talk to you about that I do specifically. I don't know a lot of people who do this, so this might be just OCD Jillian talking. I keep a drop bin and a spray bin in my car. So the drop bin is for the clothes and the shoes that I take off. So I take off my dirty shoes from the birth and I put on a pair of just plain flip-flops. Shoes that haven't walked in bloody show, in amniotic fluid, in pee, whatever might be happening on the floor, I'm taking off those shoes and putting on some clean ones. Then I have a spray bin, and in the spray bin, I put tools. For example, let's say, I don't think I showed these, but I will show them. I got these when I was a new doula, and they're called knuckles. They're really nice. You just go like this and massage. Super nice. But if I've been using them on somebody who maybe I used it on their bare skin, or even on top of their clothing that maybe had amniotic fluid or bloody show or something on it, I need to sanitize these. I can't take these to another birth and just leave them the way they are. So I have a Clorox wipes and a disinfectant spray, and I wipe down everything immediately after a birth, spray it so that it is usable for if I have to go to another birth in the next few days. I want to make sure that I am not crossing bloodborne pathogens around, right? I also keep a spare set of clothes, spare set of shoes and socks in my car. Let me tell you why. And I'm so glad that I had these. But one day a mother was handed, she was in the middle of a contraction. She had just caught her cup of urine that the hospital needed. And she starts to have her contraction and she starts to pass it. And I see it's about to fall. And so I go and she's obviously passing it to me. I'm like, why is this happening? But it's the life of a doula. So I grab it, but it didn't make it into my hand before she dropped it. And guess where it all landed? In my shoe. Big puddle of her pee in my shoe. And she felt horrible, and I was like feeling the gross factor, but I also knew that I had a spare pair of shoes and socks in my car, and thankfully didn't even have to worry about it. I took those off, put them right into one of the spare bags that I had, put on the flip-flops, went out to the car, got the shoes, and we were back on track like nothing had happened. So I would definitely suggest keep some spare clothes, spare shoes in your car, just in case. Okay, here is what you really need to keep in your doula bag. Are you ready? All right, I've got it. First of all, your client folder or notes or whatever information you have about your client. The worst thing would be to call dad the whole time when his name is Bob. Like, just call him by his name. And when you get a lot of clients, sometimes you start to mix up names and forget names. So it's really great to have those client notes. Okay, this is what else I bring. I have my Birth Boot Camp Doula Manual. And in this, there are positions and what their benefits are. Now, I have pretty much mastered what's in here, but my clients haven't. They might not understand the position I'm trying to explain. So great to have these pictures and say, hey, let's try this. Do you see that? Can you lift your leg like this onto that stool? You know, and it really makes it easy to explain. Wonderful to have on hand. Another thing I have been keeping in my Birth Boot Camp Doula bag is this awesome relaxation book. Birth Boot Camp just produced this, and they have them available for digital download, but really wonderful relaxations, visualizations, and it's a beautiful form, and couples can read this to each other. If I have to walk away, I'll often pull this out and say, hey, why don't you try reading one of these out loud? And this makes them feel like they have something they can do. Really great for the extra people in the room. And this also has the same thing, but just more comfort measures inside that couples can use, and so I keep that in my bag. Biggest thing of all. Are you ready? This is it. This is the golden ticket. This is what you need to have in your doula bag. Are you ready? Information about yourself and thank you cards for your doctor. This is what you need. I started leaving thank you cards for all the nurses and the wonderful staff that I encountered. I want them to know that I appreciate them. So before I even leave the hospital, before I leave the home birth or the birth center, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna spend 10 to 15 minutes and just tell them something that made them amazing and let them know that I really appreciated how they took care and supported my client. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes there are care providers that you really didn't see anything amazing. You were really frustrated, but I'm coming back and I want them to begin to trust me. So I start to try to find something positive, no matter what it could be, and encourage somebody. And then I leave them information about myself, that I'm a professional, and if they want to get in contact with me, here's how, or here, give this to another family who might be interested. So that is pretty much what is in my doula bag. And the things that I think you should not leave home without are thank you cards, information about yourself, and what my top doula things are is really my hands. Right here, I use these a lot. My heart. Because if you can have empathy for somebody, if you can put yourself into their shoes and figure out what they might need, then you can do this and you can help them feel supported. So I hope that was helpful and that you were able to get a taste, a look at what I have. And you don't need everything, You could want more. There's so much more that could be in a doula bag. I've seen it, but this is what works for me. And I hope you have a wonderful adventure as a doula and find what works for you.